So folks, we're here once again with our Director of Speedway and Team Manager of the Bellevue Aces, Mark Lemon. Mark, lots of excitement around the club at the moment. The big one, of course, less than 4 weeks' time, well, just over 4 weeks' time now, we'll be having our very first meeting here at the National Speedway Stadium, the Peter Craven Memorial. A really nice field coming together. I've just had a quick look at it. What can folks expect from this year's competition?
Hopefully a very good meeting. Obviously it's nice to be back here in Europe. Obviously I spent some time down in Australia, getting some sun, and obviously inhaling a lot of smoke from the bushfires, which was pretty sad to see, and appreciate the club donating some money to that cause. And obviously, being a dry continent, we've had a lot of dust storms there as well, so it's a bit of rain down there right now, and we've got the fires under control, so that's really nice. Come back here, the weather's, obviously we've had Kiara and Dennis trying to cause havoc, so we're at trackside, and we've been down the track today, and I tell you what, we could probably put a meeting on today. It's looking that good out there, so that's just the credit to the drainage this track at the National Speedway Stadium is. So,
it's looking really good, actually. It's very smooth. I mean, this one thing this track can do, it's detect the weather, isn't it?
It is. So, obviously maybe a New Year's Classic in the future, but right now I guess all attention is probably focused on to the Peter Craven, our next big show. We'll have our press day coming up, and probably a few closed practices for the boys to come out and shake down their bikes and themselves and sort of assess themselves ready for the season. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few new faces in the team will be really interesting to see around here. Can we expect to see a few of those faces in the Peter Craven field, maybe?
We like to see a lot of our Bellevue guys. Definitely, it's a great opportunity for them to test their mettle against the other guys. The field's looking really good actually, and we'll have some news for that on some of the lineup riders being announced tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really excited about a couple of the names I've seen in there, but check back, folks, on Thursday for more news on that one, and plenty more to come on in that front, isn't there, Mark? So March the 21st is when it's all happening. Can't wait for it, can you?
Well, I'm excited about it. So obviously, it's a lot of hard work goes on behind the scenes trying to organise these meetings, and we've got a lot of people to thank for that. But when it all comes together, the last sort of 3 seasons that we've run the Peter Craven, we've seen a great crowd and some really great racing. So I expect the same.
And of course, the early season for both of our teams, really interesting. I mean, the Aces taking on the Premiership newcomer Sheffield. That's a hugely popular fixture online at the moment. The Bellevue Colts taking on the reigning National League champions in the form of Leicester. There's some really good meetings to start things off this year.
There's a real nice vibe around British Speedway right now, so it is quite exciting, and that buzz is there. I guess people have probably had there been withdrawals from the winter months, and it's not far. The eve of the season's just here. We come up against Sheffield in our first fixtures, so that's going to be very exciting with Nicky Patterson and the team. But Sheffield got a really handy team down. They've put a really good collective riders together. So then obviously they've been, I haven't seen any sort of bookies odds or anything, but I would expect they're probably up there. But equally, I'm pretty happy with the team that we've put together. So it's a nice blend. I think performances all round. There's a lot of strength and depth in this team this year. I'm really excited to have Peter Kilderman back. Even more excited to have Charles Wright finally come to Bellevue and put on a famous Bellevue Aces race jacket, just like his granddad did and his brother. So that's pretty cool. Obviously we've got Dan coming back off. Hopefully had a good summer in Australia. Really enjoyed himself out there. And obviously Jamie Lindsay, won his third under 21 championship.
I mean, you could say so many things about these guys, and a lot of people on social media share your enthusiasm about this particular 1 to 7, in especially the strength in depth. I mean, any which combination you have in this team, no matter who moves up from reserve and who moves down, you've still got a solid back end to support that top 5, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't think Steve Roll wants to hear someone say move down, because I think his ambition is to stay up there.
He wants to step it up this year, doesn't he?
Absolutely, rightly so. He's had a tough couple of seasons with an injury, so as some of the boys, that's part and parcel of the game. It's kind of, it's got a real nice feel about it. I mean, like Jai Etheridge is coming in, he broke his collarbone in Australia, which is unfortunate from the first round disaster in the championship down there. But he's back fit, round to go on a motocross bike and having a bit of fun. So I see a lot of improvement coming from Jai as well. So it's going to be interesting. If we can keep that 1 to 7 as it was, it would be a very good outfit. But there's going to be challenges like in the teams are trying to stay in the main body. That's Dan.
Nothing
really,
like a bit of healthy competition amongst the boys, is there?
No, there isn't. It's not. More focused on who's going to be number one. That's right. I'm more focused on. So
Brady Kurtz starts off at number one, but he's got a lot of tigers on his tail. Excuse the pun, with our first meeting being Sheffield, but certainly a lot of guys up there who's capable of being number one. He's gonna have to watch his back.
I think they should work together. I think we talk about the cliches and year after year. We've got a good team. We're going to make the playoffs. That's foremost and important, and probably see what we're going to win the championship. But it's the nucleus of this team is fundamentally really strong and healthy. There's a lot of growth that can be found from all these riders, especially within their averages, which is pretty much vital for success in a club. But there's a lot of hard work that has to go into to achieve success, and the conversations I've had with the boys, they're working hard. I mean, I know every other rider in the land will be working just as hard, but I just feel there's a real good blend and a uniting feel about these guys.
And as you touched on just briefly, not just the Aces but the Colts as well, there's a really nice buzz around this club, around other clubs, around British Speedway in general. Do you think is that gonna become something that maybe spreads a little bit more this year? There just seems to be a lot of positive vibes for once coming out of the sport.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk, and talk's good. So social media's alive and well, and it's going in the right direction. So we can look at sort of Poland and say they're the forerunners of the sport, but there's a lot of good things happening here too.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, we're so excited for the year Peter Craven. Certainly excited to see both our clubs back in action again. Folks, don't forget, on Thursday morning we'll be making our first Peter Craven Memorial announcement, so get yourselves on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those places. Mark, thank you very much.